Hey everyone, it's Michelle at michellesizemore.com, and that has one L in my first name if you're looking for me. I'll also put that link in the comment section below the video so you can find me there. I'm a Creative Memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this page layout, two-page layout, using the Birthday Jubilee collection. It's our new birthday collection for January 2025. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is show you everything that I used. I have everything in here in my Power Project sleeve. Temporary holding place for my items just for this project, I meant to say. Okay, so first things first, I used this from the embellishments pack for Birthday Jubilee, and this is ruled white paper from Creative Memories. I used these papers, two of each. So this was my background paper, and this is the paper that I cut to make borders going down that way. And I also used these colors of cardstock, a light blue, an orange, and a more of a royal blue. Okay, now let's set all this aside and get started. So the first thing I want to do is to cut my cupcakes, and those I need two strips that are 5 inches wide. Okay, so I'm going to, I've already got one I think cut. Well, it's a scrap that I want to use first. I've already used this, but I want to see if it'll work, and I think it should. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. It has the straight blade in it. Pull out my extension, make sure my little foot is up, and I want to measure this at 5.5, which is right there. No, I'm sorry, 5 inches. I need to measure it at 5 inches. I was thinking about something else I just did. Make sure it's straight all the way down, straight at the top, and cut. And I will save this scrap for something else. Okay, and then I need another one just like it. So I'm going to line this up at the 5-inch mark right there. Follow the grid line all the way down. Make sure it's straight at the top. Close and cut. Set that aside. So now I have my two side pieces, and then I need 2 skinny strips of this royal blue cut with the colonial blade. And I'm going to look down here, and the colonial blade is this one. It's fairly new. I really like it. And I'm going to flip this open, take this out, put this in curvy side down, flat side up, and close. And I'm going to cut, I need something that's about 3/4 of an inch. It does not have to be perfect, because a lot of it is going to be tucked underneath that cupcake paper. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And you know what? I don't think I used this one now that I think about it. Let's look. I think I used the wave. Let's see which one we like better. So I'm going to cut that off. Yeah, I think I'm going to like the wave better. I did this a bit ago, so I forgot. So let's get rid of that. Now I'm going to cut with the wave, and I think that's the one I'm going to like the best. And I think that's the one that I used. Okay, about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to line it up at 3/4 of an inch. Make sure it's straight all the way down. Yes, that is what I liked better. So it's just like a subtle little wave. And then I'm going to cut the other one. I'm going to cut it with the same blade. This side that I'm cutting is actually going to be tucked underneath the cupcake, so it doesn't matter if it's a wave or a straight. It's just easier not to have to switch out the blade. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and now I want to mount the borders. I'm going to grab my silicone mat so that I won't get any adhesive on my table. I love this because the adhesive kind of repels from it when you're using the repositionable. It's just awesome. So I'm going to run, okay, so this is a directional paper. So I want the cupcakes this way, and my border is going to be right here. So I'm going to flip it over and run my repositionable tape runner all the way down like that. And I'm going to lay this down, line it up with the ruler, and press this down on top of, oh, well, I just messed it up. Okay, so let's fix it. There we go. So this is the side with the adhesive, so I'm just going to place this over this and let that blue just stick out past the cupcake paper just a little to give it a little slight border like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this paper on this inside edge right here. So I'm going to flip that over and run my tape runner down there and then do the same thing that I just did. This is really a pretty quick and easy page. I like things that are quick and easy. Okay, so I'm just going to let about the same amount of blue show that I did on the other one. I like that. And now, grab my 2 pieces of orange. And, oh, I did, nope, that's right. This one's going to go over here. And y'all, I see that I need to fix this. See how the blue comes out past that the white a little bit, but it's not even down here? I need to fix that because I want it to be even. I just didn't look close enough. This should do it. No, you know what? I think that blue is a little bit longer, which makes me wonder if I'd already trimmed off a little bit. So I'm just going to cut that a little bit. Okay. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that cardstock is actually longer than 12 by 12, which is weird a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to generously put, well, not generously, but put some dabs of tape runner on the back here. I'm going to do more around the edges. And then a few dabs here and there. Okay, so I'm going to mount this like this. Make sure the cupcakes are facing up because this is a directional pattern. I don't know why that blue was too long. That's kind of weird. It could be that a stash of another brand of cardstock got mixed in with mine from going to a crop or something, because ours is always 12 by 12. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Yeah, and I need to trim that off just a little tad because it is a little long, just a tiny bit long. Okay, so this is going to go like this. So I'm going to put more around the edges like I did before, and little dabs on the inner part. Okay, so this is going to go on the left-hand side, outer edge, cupcakes facing up. I like this orange paper, it's fun. I could use this a lot with my kids' college stuff because they went to University of Tennessee. It's not quite UT orange, but it's close enough for me. Okay, there we go. Still just a tad. I don't like it when the orange shows past. It's not supposed to. Okay. Yeah. That is good. Okay, so now I have my basic background. Okay. So really, this is just like a really wide border, but we're going to actually put pictures on it. So let's do this side first. Now, it's time to cut our photos. So I'm not going to cut all of these. I'm just going to show you how I did this. So the first one we're going to cut is a 4x4. Yeah, here we go. These are my pretend photos. They're actually index cards, but they work great for videos. So these are 4x6s already. So this one and this one are good, and this one's good. So I really only need to cut one to 4x4. Just grab my photo trimmer. So it's already 4 inches this way. So I just need to flip it and make sure it's 4 inches this way. So I'm going to line it up at the 4-inch mark. Make sure it's straight all the way down. Hold my finger on this clear part, but just on the outer edge. I don't want to get my finger near that blade, ever. But just hold it on the clear part to make sure it stays straight. And now you have a 4x4 piece. So that would go there. Okay? And then I'm not going to do the other side because it's so similar, but I'll talk about it when we're done. Now, I like to have a skinny mat, which means it just needs to be 1/4 inch bigger on 2 sides. So I'm going to grab the orange cardstock and make a skinny mat for that 4x4. And what I'm going to do for that is first I want to get all of this excess stuff cut off. I always use up my scraps first. So get that. Oh, I've got that wavy blade in there. I forgot. So let's get the straight blade back. Yeah. Now I'm going to throw that away because there's just not much left in that. Okay, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to move it over. The blade is going to come down on that left-hand side dotted line. So I just want to make sure, let's save as much of it as we can, about right there. So that's good. Now I have a good clean edge there. I just want to get all this excess stuff off of here. Now, I would cut this off and throw it away and save this with my scraps because it's a good size for a punch or something. And then over here. Okay, so, and I would save this middle part for a punch or something, and maybe, I like to cut all those punched out parts off before I save my scraps because they're easier to keep up with that way. Okay, so these are the scraps I would save. And you never know what you might could do with those. Little punches and things, little squares, little circles. Okay, now I want to cut this to 4x4. So I'm going to line this up at the 4-inch mark. Well, let's do it on the trimmer because this is the mat for my photo. So I would cut it similar to the way I would cut my photo. So line it up at the 4 1/4. Okay, so my photo was 4 inches, so I want my mat to be 4 1/4 on one side. Make sure it's straight at the top. Save that, flip it to the left one way and cut it 4 1/4, which is right there. And then make sure it's straight all the way down and over and at the top. And cut, and this should be the perfect size to mat my 4x4 pretend photo. Yep, it's good. So I'm going to put some tape runner at every corner and a couple of dabs in the middle. And center my photo. So that's how I would get my mat. Well, I think I need to come down just a tad. Okay, so that's how I would get my mat for that. And so for all of my other photos, I would do the same thing. I would cut them 1/4 inch on 2 sides bigger than the photo. And then I would mount those down, okay, with my tape runner, with my reposition tape runner. And here in this blank area, I would put this. This is a die cut from the birthday Jubilee pack. I would just put a little repositionable tape runner on the back there, like here, a few dabs, and put that here. And then I wanted just a little bit of extra sprinkle of like confetti or something. So I added a few little light blue hearts to bring out the light blue in the cupcakes. So to get those, I used a punch right here. This comes in, this is the box it comes in. It's the piece by piece punch, and this is a little flower petal. This is the heart, and this is like a starfish or a flower, like a middle of a flower or something. So I need this heart out of light blue paper. So I'm going to flip this open by pushing that button on the bottom. Grab my light blue cardstock and just punch a few of these. And you get those other things to punch out that you can use on some other things. Now I'm going to grab this awesome product that we have called a lifter stick. I love it. I love it. I really do. It's new. It is great. In the past, it's kind of yuck, but I would kind of lick my finger to pick things up. And that's just not the most, it's just not good hygiene to do that. It's just not good. So I'm going to open this up, and it's gummy on the bottom. So I'm going to pick up 3 of these little hearts. I only see 2. One of them must have gone off on the floor. But anyway, 2's good. We can, just for learning purposes. And I'm going to grab my repositionable tape runner and just kind of with my thumbnail, I'm going to hold one of these down at the corner and put tape runner on it. And then I would stick it here and another one here and another one here. So once you get your tape runner, if you need to pick it up, once you put your tape runner on it, honestly, your tape runner would be on the back. You can pick it up with your finger and then just flip it over and stick it down. But this little lifter stick is awesome. I love it. I think it's $8, and we have them on the website now. Okay, so that's how I would do that. It's super easy. So let me find my original. Oh, there's one more thing I did not show you. Well, and I do want to say, I messed around with this for a while with the colors. I really like the colors. I love the orange and the blue. But at first, I had these matted in blue and this in blue, and it was just too much blue. So when I changed it to orange, I thought it brightened it up a little bit and kind of tied it all together, and then matted these with blue. So it's just a personal preference. Like, whatever you like is what you want to do. But to get this right here, this is our Creative Memories ruled paper, and I use it all the time. I love it. And here's a piece of it. It comes in a full 12 by 12 sheet, but this is a scrap piece. So I need to cut this down after I find my ruler. Yeah, here it is. It needs to be 6 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. So I'm going to grab my pencil and just use my ruler. Yeah, it's already 6 inches wide, so the width is already correct. And then it needs to be 2.5 inches tall. So really all I have to do is make one cut on this. Put that underneath that clear plastic. My blade will come down here, so I'm going to put my pencil mark right there. My pencil mark is right here. Okay. Hold the clear thing down just at the very tip, not near the blade, and cut. And then I'm done. And then I want to close this up. I never store this with the blade up because I'm afraid it just could be easy to get cut on that if you're not careful. And then I would mount this here with repositionable tape runner and write on it with a Creative Memories pen. It is important to use the right pens that are acid-free, lignin-free, fade-proof, waterproof, and all of that. So, I mean, if you get them from Creative Memories, you know they are, because that's one of our main goals, is to be photo safe. And then you would just write on this and mount that down with your repositionable tape runner. I mean, you can always use a regular tape runner too. I just really like the repositionable because it allows me to pick things up and move them around while I'm in the process of making my page. And then once I'm done, over time it settles down and it becomes more permanent. So now I'm going to show you how I put this in my album. One thing you could do is just to open up your album, and you could actually, well, this is pretty thick, so I would not, well, you could mount this on top of your page. Well, you could just mount it on top of your page like that. And like this. I think I have this a little bit tight because it's kind of bubbling up in the middle. When you get, when it's loosened up, the pages lay flat. So, see, that's more flat. So you could, mount them, this way, directly onto your pages. These are white. The other pages I showed you were Spargo. and mount them down like that, or you could put them in our top loading pocket pages, which are these. Now I would definitely take the cardboards out because this is pretty thick when it's got the 2 pieces of paper on it. So I'm going to take this cardboard out. I'm going to use these papers to either scrap on or use for cardstock. It's good, you know, photo safe paper. And I'm just going to slip these in. I like this because I can scrap outside of my book, and I really like these top loading pages because you can move your pages around. Like if you know, mess up and do something wrong, you don't have to completely undo the whole album. You can just take your pages out and move them around where they go. So there we go. Those are in there, and I'm really happy with that layout. I like it. Really easy. Now on the other side of your paper, I always do this. If I was planning to scrap on the other side of my paper, I would have done a better job of making sure I paid attention to the direction of the pattern. So I would want these cupcakes to be right side up, but I probably won't scrap on this. I'll probably scrap on another piece of paper, and let's say, well, on another piece of paper, and then just put it in and put the papers back to back. I would not advise putting cardstock in here back to back, because it is thicker and it would add more weight to your book. I mean, it's okay. It's just, you can get a lot more in your album the less weight you have. So you could either scrap on the back of that paper or add another designer paper, which is our thinner paper, behind it. So there you go. And I did the same thing here. So next time I do this, I'll try to pay attention to the direction of the pattern. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like these colors. I really do. I think they're great for male or female, boy or girl, birthdays. It's just kind of a good palette. I like the color. And I love the orange because we do a lot of orange in our house since our kids went to University of Tennessee. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.